What up, YouTube? Following this very disturbing news in Colorado, I had to put my thoughts on camera and see who out there feels just as upset and frustrated as I do. So, what do we got here? We got the media spinning Asian hate crimes, blaming it on Caucasian and white people, saying it's white supremacy. So we have this Ahmad Alawi, Alyssa, whatever the hell his name is, Ahmad, right? This dude who shot up Boulder, Colorado, 10 people dead, including a police officer. Very, very sad, very disturbing. My prayers and my thoughts go out to all those families and to the hero police officer that was first on the scene and put his life in sacrifice and stood in the gap to protect those people and gave his life in the servitude of law and doing something that was right. So much respect to him. May he be glorified with the angels and in heaven right now for sacrificing himself to save others. God bless him and his family. The problem is the media said, and also people who had reported it, the police and dispatch said it was a white man. The media was saying it was a white man, and then most of the media made it a point to not tell you if it was a white dude, black dude, Hispanic dude, Chinese dude, Arab dude. They didn't say. I thought to myself, now, isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting that they're specifically making it a point to not tell you? Same thing with the video I did a couple days ago about the Asian attack on Danny Chang. The individual that attacked him is Hispanic, right? But the media wants to make it sound like it's white supremacy and hate crimes, but they wanted to make it a point to not tell you it was a Spanish dude who did that. Now, I don't give a damn. Personally, I don't care what race the person is, but does it have relevancy? Yeah, sometimes it does. And in this case, the media had made it a point to not tell you that this Arab dude, this Muslim dude who shot up Boulder, Colorado, the media made it a specific point to not tell you and me, what race that dude was, and made it a specific point to not tell you the name of the person. Because as soon as you hear Ahmad Alawi, Alyssa, however the heck you pronounce that part of his last name, but as soon as you hear the name Ahmad, Ahmad, you know automatically. You're like, oh, it's an Arab dude. Okay, great. He's trying to earn his 72 virgins and shoot up a bunch of innocent people that never did nothing to him, like the coward that he is. What a POS. I don't understand, why the media keeps... I mean, I do understand why they're doing it, but it's just an absolute disgrace. And just seeing how the media continues to spin these things the way that we're seeing everything happen right now. I mean, not only is it a disgrace to journalism, but it just shows that the media has zero integrity. And it's really, really sad, because what it shows is, what we already know is that we can't rely on the news that we're getting from mainstream. There's only certain stories that we can rely on that they're actually telling the truth. Most of it, there's always an angle, there's always a motive, there's always some way that they're trying to twist it or flip it or use it to their advantage, to be biased, There's always an angle, and it's so manipulative, it makes me sick. And I gotta tell you, if it doesn't frustrate you, then, I don't know what to tell you. But I can say that, with absolute certainty that I already knew that this administration, the Biden administration, was going to start bringing back the narrative of terrorism. If y'all go back to James O'Keefe and you remember the CNN tapes, and you remember how he was hacking the conference calls, right? And with Jeff Zucker, the CEO, their morning conference calls, and James O'Keefe was able to record CNN for, I think it was a total of 6 weeks. And I think it was either the first or the second tape that they had released. What happened? Well, one of the I'm trying to remember, one of the staff members was talking to Jeff Zucker and saying, something, I'm paraphrasing, but something to the extent of, like terrorism, maybe we should start bringing back that narrative now and, have something to redirect after the election. They're like, we need something to segue to, still keep people tuning in and keep that controversy going. They didn't say all that, but I'm paraphrasing. Basically, they were saying that, yeah, we should bring back the narrative of terrorism. That always seemed to work and got people to tune in, right? So here we have 2 mass shooters. One, the dude who shot up the Asian massage parlors. It was 8 people. 6 of them were Asian. 2 of them were white people, Caucasian. And then you got this fool over here, this Ahmad Muslim dude in Boulder, Colorado, and shoots up a bunch of peeps, a bunch of innocent people. I mean, what a bunch of cowards, man. There's a special place in hell for people like that. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, even if there's not justice in this life, there will be justice in the next. All will stand before the Creator and be judged. I don't care what religion you are. You can't get through this life without being judged and held accountable for everything that you've done. I know that some of the atheists out there would like to believe in their perfect little world that, you can just do anything and, yeah, you just do whatever you want. And, yeah, there's just whatever, no accountability, no. Everyone will be held accountable for their words and their actions. So, this fool right here, whether he's a jihadist or whatever, he is a Muslim dude, plain and simple. It's not racist, it's not prejudiced by saying that. I'm just calling out the facts and the obvious factor that mainstream media didn't want to tell you, right? They didn't want to tell you, right? Because they want to keep spinning this propaganda. And what's the next thing in line? They want to get rid of the Second Amendment. They want more gun restrictions, right? The Democrats, come on now, I've been saying this for a long time. The Democrats want to take your Second Amendment right. They want to take the guns. This is not me making this up. This is just plain and simple. They want to take your guns. Okay? And eventually they're going to do it. I don't know how. Probably get rid of all the big rifles first and through gun taxes and through this and that and whatever. And it'll get to a point where it'll just be like, well, everyone will be allowed to have like a handgun or something at some point. And then maybe not even that. You look at the laws they passed in the UK, stabbings have gone up like 1,000%, like almost 2,000%. I think the last figure, I know it's over 1,000%. What are we going to start outlawing, forks and spoons next too? It's crazy. But that's really what's going on. And then you notice, like, just within 13, 14 hours of this incident happening yesterday in Boulder, Colorado, Biden is like, calling for gun bans and gun restrictions. Well, guess what, idiots? Maybe if there were... What if there was legal gun owners, law-abiding citizens that were legal gun owners that were there in that store? They could have stopped that freaking psychopath. You guys ever think about that? Did you ever think about if you take people's guns away, the only people who are going to have the guns are the criminals and the government? You think the criminals are going to give up their guns? Criminals aren't going to give up their guns just because... I mean, when did new gun laws or legislation ever stop criminals from doing bad things? It's not like a criminal's going to be like, they passed a new gun law. I guess I better not go to the store and shoot up 10 people. Ooh. No. The gun laws aren't doing anything. All they're doing, they are doing something. What they're doing is they're prohibiting legal citizens from legally acquiring guns and being able to protect themselves and protect their neighborhood, their environment, their neighbors, their family, the people they love. Come on, all of the above. So, man, I could go on about this for a while, but all I'm going to say is that the rights, our civil liberties that are being infringed on, are at the point now where, we're losing the Constitution. We're losing it little by little, every single day, every week, every month. I mean, they're just chipping away, just chipping, a little bit at a time, I mean, it's outrageous. It's at the point where, it's like every time they pass one of the, like HR 8. If you guys aren't familiar with that, check my video last week. You'll see HR 1446 and HR 8. Basically, they're saying, oh, well, it's a good thing because it gives the FBI 10 days to do a full background check when they had 3 days. Trust me, the government is still able to do a background check in 3 days. The difference is that they can drag out the process, and then after it goes a couple weeks, guess what? People have to start that process and their application all over again. So what it does is it makes it harder for law-abiding citizens that just want to protect themselves and their family, right, under the Second Amendment. It makes it harder for them to legally acquire a gun. I mean, this situation in Colorado should be a prime example and a wake-up call to everyone. Everyone, far and wide, doesn't matter how old you are, what your race is, where you're from, religion, it's irrelevant. It should be a wake-up call that all of us should be allowed the legal right to own a gun, to protect ourselves under the Second Amendment. It is our God-given right. It's an inalienable right. It's not rights that are given to us by the government. It's our God-given right. It's like breathing. It's like free speech. I don't have to ask my government for permission to speak my mind. Free speech is there to not protect, the politically correct speech. It's there to protect the people who disagree with each other. It's there to protect each other from us disagreeing and saying offensive things to each other. It's there to protect everyone's right to free speech. Even though they might say something that's offensive, it still protects your right to speak. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Now we got the attack on the First Amendment and the attack on the Second Amendment. I mean, we're under attack from all sides, ladies and gentlemen. We're under attack from our federal government. We're under attack from the last and the current administration. We got lots of countries that want to do bad things to us. We got infiltrators here inside our country that want to hurt us. I mean, it's at the point now where it's just like, where does it end? How far is it going to go? So this should be a wake-up call, and another reason that this is the reason we need the Second Amendment. If there was someone in that store that was a legal gun owner, they could have stopped this massacre from happening potentially. But we'll never know, will we? We don't need more gun laws. We need more laws that allow people to acquire weapons legally, that don't make it so difficult and wrap up all the red tape and constantly going through this merry-go-round of, oh, well, we need to have background checks. See, the government is making it sound like we don't have background checks. They're making it sound like you can go to like a gun show and just buy a weapon without a background check. If you go anywhere, look, if you don't believe me, go to any gun store. They will not sell you a weapon without doing a background check. You got to come back in 3 or 5 days. In a week, you come back and, if you're approved and the background check is clear, boom, there you go. You're cleared to get a weapon. Bottom line is, we're in a situation where our liberties are under attack. And this is much bigger, than just the feds and the state. I mean, we can call it a conspiracy, but I mean, more than that, we can just call it like what it is. It's a branch, it's a part of government, deep state government, that has an agenda to silence Americans as much as possible, so they take more of our civil liberties under the Bill of Rights, specifically the First and the Second Amendment. We lose that Constitution, what's to separate us from the animals and, pardon the expression, the countries that don't have the laws that we have to protect us, third world countries. Once we lose that Constitution, we're in deep trouble. Everybody last year was so busy fighting over the election and who they wanted their candidate to be. Most people weren't fighting for the Constitution. They weren't standing up for the Constitution. Forget your political, views, and forget that. Forget your political candidate. We got to stand up for the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. We lose that, we're in big trouble. That's all I got to say about that. If you feel what I'm saying, smash the like it and share it. Get it out there.